to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's everybody's favorite sad dads, Jim and Boo.
IRN BRU. You should try it. Hashtag not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
And you can get it on Amazon, so you don't have to go all the way to the UK to get it.
For sure.
I look it up. Huge history behind it.
Really?
Did you look that up at all?
No.
It has been around.
I only got messages about it like, hey, I've had that stuff.
It has been around for a very, very, very long time. And the reason it's spelled funny is because of the European laws on advertising and naming. So that way there's no...
Truth in naming.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not brewed, so they can't spell it IRN BREW.
Right.
And
it doesn't have iron in it.
And it doesn't. Yeah, I don't believe it actually.
It's not made out of metal.
It's not made out of metal. So hence the funny naming conventions.
Yeah.
But it has existed. I want to say the Wikipedia thing had it listed early 1900s. It has been a thing as far as a soda for a very, very long time. And it has always had the unique
flavor.
What is that?
Yeah.
I'm
just in my mind picturing like a UK soda shop with a soda jerk and some crusty UK guy coming in on brew, sir, and he's like cheerio, and he like
pip and all that.
Yeah, and then he soda jerks up an IRN BRU and gives it to him. You know what I mean?
It's like, I'm looking to have some extra quinine in my soda. What do you got? We got a fucking IRN BRU, bruv.
Exactly.
Right, and it tastes like 30 other flavors, but also bubblegum.
And the flavors you're not sure about.
Right. I'm not going to tell you, because it's fucking chemistry, bruv. Fucking chemistry.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been out of like a freshwater cistern that was leaching iron out of it or something. I mean, who knows?
It's just a random pipe in the back.
Well, you know how like you see springs come out and like there's like beautiful colors coming out of it?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was something like that.
The iridescent oil shimmer shit. And you're like,
nowadays,
that's clean, right?
Yeah, nowadays you're not getting that. You're probably just getting other chemicals that are food grade chemicals.
Right.
But back then you got the real deal, just like Coke with cocaine in it.
Should we boil this? Nah, fucking look at the colors. Nah, it's good for you.
Just add the bubbles and go.
And put a hair on your chest. What?
Yeah.
Will it fix my teeth? No.
Yeah, I got the like, oh, I had that in Sweden, and I was like, yeah, it's good stuff. So there's people know about that stuff, and I didn't know about it.
I would love to go back over there at some
and just
point.
drink all of it.
And with like straight up, not that I would fake the accent, but just be like, hi, I would like IRN BRU.
Yeah.
And oi.
There's a chap that knows what he wants.
This motherfucker from across the pond, he knows what he's looking at. Right. Fucking A.
Perfect.
Right.
Oh, man. Well, it's Juneteenth.
Right.
Celebrate. Good times. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one to celebrate. I mean, it's like it was like such a fucked up thing to like, I mean, it's good, but also like Texas really fucked up.
Yeah, goddamn, man.
What the shit? 2 years after slavery has been abolished and they're still going at it gangbusters, and someone had to go in and go, no, dipshits.
What was it? It's like one of those... holiday seems weird, given the circumstance.
Yeah.
I was way too old to when I realized I get the same thing with Memorial Day and what's the other one? I think Labor Day. The two that are referencing armed services. and it was, God, I think it was mid 2000s. So I was still young and stupid, 20s ish, and Happy Memorial Day. You know, Memorial Day parade.
Happy remembering the bullshit.
Right. And it was, hey, man, this one's to recognize and remember the fallen.
The service
folks.
Yeah.
And I went,
oh, it's a somber.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah. It is a somber holiday.
I mean, it's weird to think like these holidays like Memorial Day and now Juneteenth, like it's starting to become more popular or more prevalent as far as people getting it off of work. But like, it's you get a day off. So it's like you sort of celebrate to a certain extent, except this one is in the middle of the week, but also like, you know, Memorial Day is like, it's a big thing. It's Memorial Day sales. There's all this stuff going on. It's
right.
Like, and it's, but at the same time, it's like, well, we're here because like a lot of fucked up shit happened. And
right.
Same
people
thing with
who
Juneteenth.
Served to defend your ability to have all the freedoms that you have passed.
Right.
It died in service. I would agree. There's a lot more holidays that I think deserve more reverence that don't get that because they've been commercialized.
Yeah.
Right? That's awkward to me. Yeah. Now, as someone that didn't necessarily subscribe to a lot of the faith-based holidays, certainly I spent a good amount of my youth going to church because parents went to church and my grandparents went to church. So it was a big thing. But eventually, as I got into my late single digits and early teens, it was like, as I found my own identity, it was like, well, faith isn't really important to me. And like my dad and mom at the time give me a good moral compass, and those are my values, and I identify with that, and that makes sense to me.
For sure.
I started to distance myself from faith, and I was okay with that. But I would still celebrate Christmas. My employer gives me the day off. It's Christmas. So it became a very commercialized holiday.
Sure.
I am glad to have Christmas off. I am glad to have Easter.
No, you don't.
But I don't celebrate those in any. Yeah. So it becomes weird and easily lost, I think, on the United States citizen in some of the real fun, like St. Patrick's Day, hey, Halloween, whatever. 4th of July, that's it. That's important. Like I hope you take into consideration, as someone that has been to D.C. on 2 trips with the kids and whatnot, you don't have to be a historian to understand the value of what it took to get us to this point and what you have earned through blood, sweat, and tears of our founding fathers.
Independence Day.
Independence Day is important.
Yeah.
I hope you get that over fireworks and a Neil Diamond, song blasted at the thing. Right? It's important.
This is one of those I think is pretty important.
Juneteenth is important.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just seeing God, what's the other one I was talking about with your son, Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, as we have learned more, his character is not angelic. Like, he was not a perfect man, but his message was very important. Very important. He was an extremely gifted speaker. And he represented someone that I'm not a part of, like a group of people that I'm not a part of. And but his message was extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
Was extremely important. So to I think it was we were talking about with your son, to have states that don't recognize Martin Luther King Day is like, we have a ways to go, right? Juneteenth, I think, is the, because it's a federal holiday, but not statewide holidays.
I don't think our state workers got the day off.
Right. So
Did the county and stuff?
no, Venus worked.
Wow, see?
So, and I don't think there was school
No.
because Piper was here.
My wife was off.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay, so some stuff was off. I was off. So
the VA was off.
It was a banking holiday.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% on that. We did have to have staffing for today, but I think they got holiday pay. But the bulk of us were off.
Because it's a federal holiday.
Yeah, I don't know if they were trading on the trading floor.
Probably not. Federal holiday? I don't.
Ooh, I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
So, but I had the day off.
I had the day off.
You had the day off.
Yeah.
Your son did not. So, I think we're in the early stages of almost the same type of acceptance of Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
You
been drinking?
A little bit. So why would you not? Why would you, as something this important?
Yeah. Why would you not care?
Right. Why would you not care?
Oh, there's a reason. I'm not going to say it, I don't think, but...
Does it rhyme with fascism?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I had this funny story. We went to the gym today's Wednesday, Tuesday?
Yeah, yesterday.
It may have been Sunday. I can't remember.
That was yesterday.
The numbers
was
are
Tuesday.
fuzzy. But there was a gentleman who was, as Xander, Venus, and I were walking into the Planet Fitness, there was a gentleman across the parking lot who was like making a 45 to us.
Okay.
And he had some sick-ass fluorescent yellow construction green whatever like shoes. And I'm like, fuck, I like those shoes.
Those are bright.
Those are obnoxiously bright, and I like those.
You're not going to get unnoticed
And he had
in
the same
traffic.
kind of like stuff that I like to wear. Like when I work out, I prefer like a sleeveless. I don't necessarily like tank top. That's a little too revealing to me. But I do like having no sleeves when I...
So a shirt with the sleeves cut off.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Sleeveless. So not tank, a sleeveless tee.
Like right now you're wearing a tank. Let's just get that out there.
Right. It's a little bit much, but fucking I wasn't going to go in and change, and it's hot, so now I'm comfy and you're not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
I identified his shoes, and I'm like, fuck, I like his shoes. And I said it verbally to Xander, who caught it. As we got closer to the door, the gentleman opened he beat us to the door.
Okay.
He opened the door.
Because he's got fast shoes on.
Right. He was lightning fast.
Yeah.
He went in, but didn't
reciprocate the door
like,
action.
Hey, yeah.
Because that's the problem there, is everyone is, most of the time, it's not a problem, but most of the time everyone is very conscious about the two-door action happening.
99.999% of the time, either I'm holding it for the person behind me, or the person coming at me, or the person that has beat me to it is holding it open for me.
Right. That's a thing there.
It is very cordial.
Yes.
It is very, everyone is very polite.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Perhaps that's just the personality filter that's there at Planet Fitness because of the don't judge, no judgment zone kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, this gentleman beat us to the door.
But did not care.
And he straight up went inside, and we were within a step. So it was not we're 2 seconds behind, and the door...
fuck, I don't want to wait.
Right.
Yeah.
This was
just fuck you.
Fuck you. This was fuck you. And
that's brilliant.
Oh, yeah. And so first door in, shut it. Oh, okay.
Cool.
Second, yeah, thanks, dickhead.
Yeah, cool.
Second door, open, shut. Oh, Double fuck you.
Double.
Oh, wow.
thanks,
I
buddy.
have 2 hands, and it's a double fuck you. Hashtag Ulanzi JetBlue.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then it makes notice that on his right or left, I don't remember, right or left bicep is the "don't tread on me" snake.
Oh, here we go.
Right. To each their own on your political beliefs.
But I think here,
But here we go with the profiling. And I looked at Xander and I went, oh, well, that fits.
yeah, that explains it.
That explains everything. And he went, what? And I went, well, son,
Let's indoctrinate you real fast.
let me tell you how this works in the state of Jefferson and the greater state of Idaho.
Oh, shit.
So I gave him, he's like, what does that mean? And I went, so I gave him a brief, and I went, don't turn on. And he went, then Gadsden flag. Oh, okay. So we get in, we check in, and we get to the treadmills, and I go, but did you understand what I meant? And he's like, kinda. And I said, because we had just gone through AP Euro history. And so I said, and a number of times as we had gone through AP Euro history, I'm like, do you see how things repeat in cycles and how the same kind of, you get independence, and then someone says, we need to, it's too free.
Mm-hmm.
So someone tries to contain or compress independence or freedoms, and then it works for a little bit, or it seemingly works for a little bit, and then you have like an uprising or revolution that wants change, that wants to be unchained from the constraints of whatever oppression is happening. And I get it. I'm like, can you see now how mankind rinse and repeats these struggles over, like it's a seesaw,
Right.
Like right. And I went, do you remember in Spain, what was the name of the faction in Spain that was trying to break away in a militant fashion away from the rest of Spain that was trying to do the thing? Bastille. And I went, Gadsden flag, the state of Jefferson, all of these guys, the militias, the blah, 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 like, that's these people. Whether or not they identify with conservative politics or Republican politics, like, there's a spectrum there. But I said, if you are a person that's going to slap that in ink into your skin,
Yeah.
like, and you are not, like, you can hear me and see me walking behind you, and your courtesy, like, I'm not asking you to vote for fucking Obama. It's just cordial
He's
to
not
hold the
running.
door open for 0.25 seconds
Yeah.
for the person behind you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cordial. It's just nice.
It's called kindness.
It's returning the cart. And this guy, and that's why this exists. That's the whole profile. Like, congratulations, sir. You put yourself in the exact box that matches the ink on your bicep. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
You're a dickhead. Oh,
Nothing. I just saw something moving out of the corner of my eye, and I was trying to figure out what
I
it was.
just realized. Did you run it under your seat or behind you?
It's in front.
Okay.
You all right with that?
Well, I'm just making sure you don't sit on the fucking cable.
Fuck off. Anyway, busy weekend.
For you,
Yeah.
seriously, you were
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah, we were.
Go.
Well,
Go
it
nuts.
was my birthday on for Saturday.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I don't really,
You didn't say anything.
no, I don't like to. I mean,
Too
if
late.
everybody,
I sent you something, fucker.
if everybody just forgot about it, I'd be like, cool.
Why?
I don't know.
People like you.
No, they don't.
You're happy to be old.
I just don't. It's not, I don't know. It's a thing.
Okay.
So anyway,
Saturday was your
yeah,
birthday?
Saturday was my birthday. And my wife and my daughter had like for like a week straight heading up to it. Were all over me about what are we doing on Saturday, and I'm just like, it's too much pressure. Like, I had sent my wife this link already, I think, at that point.
Okay.
And the link was something that I had said months ago that, oh, this would be really fun.
A 14-inch double ender.
Yes.
Okay.
And preferably 15.
Right.
But it was something that I was interested in doing, and I'd sent it. Like, this was a hint.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything else.
This would be fun.
Just here's the link.
Right.
I talked about this once before.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent it and then sort of forgot. And then they were all over me about what are we doing on. They were like making up shit about what we were going to do on set. And I'm like, I mean, we could sit around. I'll just play fucking PS5 all day. I don't care.
Right. Shoot aliens in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then, like, I think it was like the day before, she sends me a link to that. And I'm like, I just was like, yeah, you know.
We should do that.
Yeah, sure. Yes. And the thing was super fucking cool. Okay.
Okay.
It's called, oh man, I meant to have this.
Something the rails. No.
So it's up in Amador, and it's called Rail Explorers.
Okay.
Up in Amador.
Okay, so how far is that from us?
It's about an hour.
Okay.
So like south and east,
Okay.
up in the foothills.
Okay.
And what it is a rail carts.
Okay.
That that has seats and pedals on.
Mm-hmm.
And then also part of the cart is it has batteries and an electric motor on it.
Okay.
They're pretty cool. Little brake lights on the back and stuff. But they like book these things, and then they have all these cars on the rail, and they have 2-seater and 4-seater cars.
Okay.
So depending on what size car you get, that determines the price, and the car is yours regardless if you fill it or not. So if you order a 4-seater car, it's that price if you're the only person sitting on it.
Okay.
So we had 2 cars. We had a 2-seater and a 4-seater because there was 5 of us.
Chandler, Nicole, Melly, you, Shan.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had a 3 on one and 2 on the other.
Okay.
And and so I didn't know anything about it. Just thought it looked cool. I'm very interested. I like to watch YouTube videos of people like making like some guy made a Suzuki Samurai that had like rail wheels that would come down and he could like drive on the tracks.
Okay.
And we're not talking about tracks that fucking, you know.
There aren't active train.
Yeah, they're abandoned routes or whatever.
Yeah.
And but the car has, like I said, multiple seats, like 2 or 4. And there's one seat, which is the go stop seat, which is kind of neat. And so that guy that seat is the one that controls the brake and then also controls whether or not the motors are kicking in.
Okay.
So if the stop go guy doesn't pedal, then the motor doesn't kick in. So you don't go.
So you have to pedal.
You do,
but it's
like motor assist. As long as they're just moving.
Okay.
And it's not resistant much.
Okay.
Unless you're just starting.
So the pictures I got, I imagined, oh shit, you would have been in a flop sweat a minute into this ride. So how was that possible?
Yeah.
So it was.
It's electric assist.
I'm pedaling, but really there's a motor here who's helping me out.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I pictured you at the
just
end of
dying.
this thing in a fucking flop. Not necessarily tired, but you have said multiple times, like you just get started at the gym on an elliptical and you turn into
just
pool gym.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't.
Were you in the go seat?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was in the go seat.
Did you end up flop sweat?
No.
Okay.
Part of it is because once those things get rolling, the wind's hitting you. Oh,
okay.
It's very free feeling. Mm-hmm. And you feel it, man. You pedal, and when you first start, there's some resistance on the pedals,
right?
And then the motor kicks in, and it's like,
okay.
And so as long as you're moving the pedals, That motor's still going.
Okay.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what we didn't realize is, so there's multiple crossings that you have to do, like across roads and highways.
Right.
So they fucking pile everybody up. Ding, 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 ding. The things go down. Fucking traffic stops. You go through.
Mm-hmm.
And the crew is amazing. I mean, just very professional.
Okay.
They show up. They got flag people out. The dingers go down.
Mm-hmm.
They're like flagging at cars. All the traffic stops you go through. And there's 3 of those crossings that happen. And what we didn't realize on the way out, because it's a way out and way back kind of a trip,
Okay.
is that it was mostly uphill. And
How do you turn the cars around?
I'll get that.
Oh, okay.
So it's mostly uphill, and we didn't really realize it. I mean, you're pedaling, but you're not really working because the motor's doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going uphill pretty good. And then at some point we like roll around this corner, and there's like a couple red chairs, and we're like, oh, someone's got some chairs here. That's cool. We didn't realize that's the halfway point.
Oh, okay.
So you roll up a little bit, and then they got more picnic tables and chairs set up. So that's the turnaround spot.
Okay.
So they give you like half an hour, 40 minutes. You can bring your own snacks, bring your own drinks. You just hang out and drink
Okay.
or eat or whatever you want to do. Picnic.
Drink?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
One of the things I noticed is when we were rolling into the halfway spot, there is a thing in the middle of the track that's circular that you just roll over. You don't even really realize it's there.
Okay.
Well, that lifts up the cars and turns them
so
around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking cool. So they do that, and then depending if you're in the front on the way up of the group, you're now in the back.
Okay.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So it just switches.
So they turn around the last person, and then
Well, they have a whole crew there, and they literally just roll it to the spot, turn that guy around, and then roll the next one, turn him around, and just do it until they're all done. And I think there were
roundhouse. What do they call that in the train world? Roundhouse. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, except this is just a little platform that lifts it up from the middle and literally lets it spin around. So I think there were maybe 10 or 12 of the cars.
Carts?
The carts, yeah. And then like I was saying, we didn't realize we were going uphill. On the way back, it was mostly downhill, and we were hauling ass.
Oh.
Chandler GPS'd us at one point doing about 23, 24 miles an hour.
We're booking.
You're cooking, and you're like, it's just like, chug, 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 and it's like, it's super loud, and it's like intense, and it's like really, you feel like this thing, you're not steering like a car. And I made the joke, this thing handles like it's on rails.
Handles like a Lotus, baby. Pretty woman.
But it really feels like you're almost out of control, like you're going that fast, but you're not going. These things are, 600-700 pounds, the carts with you on them. You know what I mean? But, man, I just let it fly downhill, and the girls were all like, ooh, but it was fun.
How did it keep you from banging into the person in front of you?
You had to stop yourself.
Oh.
You have a handbrake on it.
So it's like Disneyland. No bang bang.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
This ain't bumper cars, you fucks.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
So there was a bunch of that. But it was a couple of hours, and it was a fucking blast.
I was going to say, so what was the duration?
I think it's like an 8-mile round trip.
So you got, what was your, we got there, and then we left.
The times?
Yeah.
We started at 11, I want to say it was 11:30 start. And I think we finished somewhere around 1:30-ish.
Okay.
So it was like right around 2 hours.
Okay.
1:30, 1:45, somewhere in there.
That's pretty cool.
But man, I will do that again somewhere. I will. There's other places I know they have one in Fort Bragg on the skunk train line.
Shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna find a time to go to Fort Bragg and do it there.
Because I could stay with Venus's mom down at Casper.
I know I could.
At Fort Bragg?
Yes.
Fuck.
You know where the skunk train is?
No.
Oh.
I imagine it smells.
No. But apparently they have them there. I don't know what the difference is as far as like distances or anything like that.
Why else would it be called skunk train?
I don't know.
Because it's stinky.
I don't know where else they are, but man, I'm going to start doing some research because it's kind of fun. It's a lot of fun, actually.
I could totally imagine that just being in a number of canopies out there in the Fort Bragg area.
Yeah, with all the trees and pine trees and stuff.
I'll be honest, like when I saw some of the pictures, I'm like, God, that's got to be hot.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't.
No, it was a nicer day. It was picking up a little bit on the warm side when we were finishing.
Because that was middle of the day, too. You said 11 to 1-ish.
Yeah, because what I was saying to my wife, I was like, let's go as early as possible. We can get a 9 o'clock one. I think 9 was the first one.
Okay.
And she said, they're already booked. Because I'm like, just for the heat, you know.
Right, sure.
We don't know how hot it's going to be, but let's... And she's like, we can only get 11:30. I'm like, it is what it is.
Well, you just fucked my birthday.
Yeah, good job.
Way to go, wife.
Yeah. So then we finished there and like went to Jackson. I get, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like the old town of Jackson and like walked around the old town area and like had lunch and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was a good day. Totally couldn't have asked for anything more than that. It was awesome. So that was a lot. That was a lot of fun. That felt so. There was like a sense of adrenaline, and you know,
right.
It did feel like I'm sure hundreds of people have done this, or if not thousands, but it felt like you're out in the Old West. You're like, I'm on this old railroad track in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was really cool. I would recommend it to anybody. But yeah, so that was fun.
Did it have, what was the name again?
This is called Rail Explorers, and they have tours in a lot of places. So this one was in Amador.
Okay.
But they have them there's one in, for instance, West Virginia, Cooperstown, New York, Rhode Island, the Catskills, Kentucky, and Iowa, and then Amador.
Well, I don't care about Iowa, but some of those ones on the East Coast, I bet.
The Catskills, that sounds awesome, right?
Yeah. God, I would do some of that stuff in a heartbeat.
Yeah, West Virginia? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That sounds really cool. So I don't know what the others are like or anything like that, but if you have time and want to do something kind of different, it's top notch. And like I said, the crew was fucking amazing. They were friendly. They were very forthcoming with information and made sure everyone understood what was happening. They explained things to every small group that would come through. Like they did it multiple times.
So was it about,
very cool.
Would you say, was it more about just like being on the train tracks and doing a thing, or were they trying to convey like any sort of historical, was it a tour in any sense?
I mean, it's a tour just in the sense that you're moving along.
Okay. So
yeah,
there wasn't some sort of like gold miner history thing. It was, you're on the train tracks.
This is what we're doing. You're on this thing. Yeah.
And if you're a person that is physically challenged or not physically enduranced in any way, that should not be a precursor to you participating, because they were, as long as you can move your fucking feet.
Well,
or
here's the deal.
Arms.
If you can, every seat has pedals. Okay. So you could pedal or not. As long as the stop-go person has his pedals moving or their pedals moving, you're gonna move. You're
gonna move.
Yeah.
So,
and then the braking is literally like a little handbrake off of a bike.
You could be okay.
Yeah.
If you were not a fit person, your cart will move, or you pony up with a person that can move their feet. And
you're already buying the car. You're gonna want to do it with somebody.
Right.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah. Really fun.
Approachable to all spectrums of peoples.
And if you have a dog that can
pedal,
is not a big dog, and can like hang out on the bottom of the thing, he can go with you.
So you took Max?
No.
Oh.
Because we got a little nervous about how noisy it was going to be. We knew from a train standpoint, ka-chunk, chunk, that kind of stuff. And it was very loud. There were a couple times where we got the like high decibel notifications on my watch, for instance.
Interesting.
And so it was noisy, and he wouldn't have handled that very well. But some dogs don't give a rip,
Right.
They can handle it.
Right.
As long as they're not too big, because the problem is like when you're pedaling, if the dog gets in the way or whatever,
sure,
you can get hit by the pedals or whatever. But they say that you can bring your dog as long as they can just chill.
So somewhat pet friendly?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Maybe a cat if you want to put them in a carrier.
The little cat bubble backpacks?
Oh, yeah, a little backpack. Sure. Maybe. Yeah, so lots of fun. Enjoyed that thoroughly.
Cool.
And then Saturday Sunday was Father's Day. So, yeah.
You went beach?
Father's Day?
Did I see something with the beach? Pictures of your Facebook? Your wife looked like you were at a beach at something. Maybe it was just random post.
It might have been a random picture from some other time.
Oh. So what'd you do Sunday then?
We went and saw Inside Out 2, the movie.
With her dad?
No.
What was with her dad? Didn't she have... I thought I saw a picture of her with...
I think it was just old pictures
okay.
that she used in her post. We didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
We went to Folsom, see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you liked Inside Out, which I totally, really enjoy that movie.
I saw someone post I think it was on Threads, whatever the Facebook version of Twitter is.
Yeah, Threads.
And it was, when you get to this point in Inside Out 2 as an adult, you'll realize how... how hard it hits as an adult. And I think it had something to do with someone commenting that adults forget to have fun, or fun is no longer happiness. God damn it.
Joy.
Yes, that's what it was. Joy is not something that's...
Joy gets pushed aside, essentially, yes.
And I went,
yeah, it was very telling.
Yes.
They're
like, you get to some of these things and you're just going to be, God damn it. That's deep.
They do, if you saw Inside Out.
I did not.
Oh, man. You need to see them both.
Okay.
They just do such a fantastic job of portraying these inner...
Voices?
Yeah, like they're the inner struggle of like your conscious, essentially. Okay. There's like every part of you has a representation in the film of like anger, joy, sadness, right? All these things. Mm-hmm. And those get further complicated and extended as you get older and things become more, puberty happens. Mm-hmm. So things change over time.
Right.
Whereas when you're a little kid and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, like joy is easier to come by, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas as you get older, those things sort of shift and things like anxiety kick in and, those kind of things.
Well, I know all about that person.
Right.
Right.
And so they just do a really good job. If you haven't seen the film, I highly recommend Inside Out and the new Inside Out 2. Mm-hmm. They're just super well done. Pixar films, of course. I feel like they do such a good job of figuring out how to portray things and make them relatable. Mm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you got Disney Plus, man, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. You should be in there right now.
Oh, watching the first one?
Yeah.
I think everyone in the house has watched that one but me.
What are you doing?
I'm not quite sure why. Probably because the Star Wars thing got in the way.
It's a little bit of a tearjerker. There's times where you're just like, fuck. Because, of course, it's a story about a girl.
Sure.
And what's happening inside of her, of course.
At puberty or adolescent, like kid?
The first one is like when she's younger.
Okay.
And then the second one was her as like a 8th grader going into high school kind of thing. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't want to tell you too much if you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Very, very well done. They just have a really neat way of representing how things operate in someone's mind. And
yeah.
even,
Well, they
obviously it's not true, but
Pixar was Up, and Up's intro like absolutely crushed me.
yeah.
Like the husband and wife,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
that find each other, and then the wife.
Up is the worst for the tear jerk.
That first fucking 15 minutes, and it's just the intro, and you're like,
oh, fuck off.
why? Why are you doing this to me? This is an absolute fucking heart crusher.
Inside Out has a little bit of that. I don't think it's as bad. Up's like probably top tier jerker movie.
Yeah.
Where Inside Out might be a 5 or a 6.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's not as
Yeah,
bad. But man, well done series of movies. If you haven't seen them, go see those movies.
Okay.
But yeah, we just hung out and like went to dinner with her parents, and that's it pretty much. So how about you guys?
We did well, because I worked, so a good chunk.
Oh, that's right.
A good chunk of the day I was working, and then Xander had he needed shorts because he's going to go to Sunsplash this coming weekend. So he was like, "Can I go? Take me to the store to get?"
And you're like, "No,
absolutely." So let's go do that. Like, let's do that, and then
I wouldn't let him do that.
Venus asked me, what did you? Right, you can go naked.
You have some shorts that have holes in them.
Right.
Just wear those.
Duct tape and tuck the wane.
And I'm not talking about the holes where your
wang is.
Legs go.
Yeah. What?
And your
you just put tape on both sides and it makes a sling. It won't stick to the nuts. I promise. And then Venus was like, well, what do you want to do for... So, before I get there. So, I said sizzle for dinner.
Oh, yeah. I can't say that.
What?
Sizzle.
You can't?
My wife doesn't like Mongolian.
Really?
Dude, let's beat her up.
That's something. And for breakfast, when my wife got up, I said, because I've had, donuts. So I usually, last couple of years and change, I'm like, I want a breakfast of champions donut from Bad Baker's. It's been at least a year since the last Father's Day.
Yeah.
And so she took Xander and she went over to Bad Baker's, and apparently they've removed the naming tags from all of their pastries.
Okay.
And slightly altered some of their recipes.
Oh.
To the point that there was no clear identification of the donuts and other pastries and other savory pastries that they had on display. And so every person in front of her in the line was having to rinse and repeat okay, well, what is this? And what are these? And what are those?
Yeah.
And she, Venus was telling me, she's like,
so then it's taken a whole bunch of time.
Well, there was that, and she's like, plus you could tell that the attendant was clearly irritated that they were having to
explain it,
repeat and explain every single thing that they had probably been doing. I think by the time Venus, probably at least a couple hours worth by the time Venus got there. So, and it's all because there was no labels. So, and some of the donuts looked like some of the things that Venus has recognized from years past. There was something that looked like the Breakfast of Champions donut, something that looked like the couch potato donut, and a couple other things.
But they weren't those things?
But they, so when she got up to the thing, and she sent me a picture, and she said, there are no names, and it doesn't look like they have the Breakfast of Champions. So based off the picture, I'm like, give me 2 of the one on the left. And whatever, that's fine. I'll try something new. And she said she got up to the counter, and she identified one that looked like a couch potato. So she got me the two that I'd asked for.
Did she be like, I want the couch potato?
She did.
Okay.
So she said, and I'll have a couch potato. And she said the lady looked at her like,
if you have a name on
because
it, though,
there were no names.
I know, but I mean, there were names at some point.
There used to be, but
so is this like a person that didn't work there when there were names on them? Like she didn't know what they were?
Or that they were trying to get away from the names because they have slightly altered the recipes so that they were not a couch potato, even though it looked like it had all of the things that look like the couch. So she's like, that was kind of weird and kind of just frustrating from that perspective. She's like, you could have made the customer and attendant and service person interaction much better if you'd have just put fucking labels. She's like, some of these, what did they make? The star bread. Yeah. Some of the star breads, which are like little fingerling-sized raised, like a sweet bread. She said they had like trays and trays of those off to one side, and they, star bread all looks the same on the outside. But someone had asked, like ahead of her, like, well, what are these? And the attendant basically said, well, so those ones are strawberry filled, cream cheese filled, normal star bread. But you would not.
But they're called star bread.
But they're all star bread, and they all look the same. You would not have known that some of them were
have
filled
something in them
at all. Like,
that's a mistake on their part.
Why are you not labeling?
Well, you go to a regular donut shop. It's clear that you have a raised with chocolate.
Right.
You have a chocolate
right.
with sprinkles.
Right.
You have a fucking apple fritter. You have a cruller. Like, you know what the fucking donuts are, right?
Right.
These are donuts that are not normal donuts.
Right. These
so
are very boutique.
If you do not have a fucking label on them, then people have to ask specifically, what is that thing? And then it's just wasting people's fucking time.
Label the fucking donuts. Right? It made no sense. Like, so it made her frustrated to just be trying to do something that I didn't necessarily have to ask for. So I felt bad. I'm like, fucking, I didn't want to ruin the morning by just saying, I should have just said Maple Bar. And she would have gone over here to Baker Ben's or something, fucking whatever.
You got to go to Foothill Donuts. They got the best donuts in town.
That's the one over here by
Bel Air.
Bel Air?
Yeah.
Piper? Wait. I can't remember which one she has a high school friend in. I think it's Baker Ben's. We go there because sometimes we get free shit.
Oh, you get a little help out.
So then we went to Sizzle.
Okay.
So my frustration was Sizzle.
There's a sadness involved.
Right. It is the people that
we got problems at the Sizzle.
What
the shit?
In my younger years, when we would go to Mongolian BBQ up, what was it?
Auburn.
Sum's Mongolian BBQ in downtown Auburn.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with the practice of the frozen meat slices. You pile it in your bowl,
smash it
and
down.
then you compress that meat, and so you can put more shit in it. Because they're like cupped, so they're going to take up extra space.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. Yeah, as a young person in the 20s that wants maximum meatings or fillings per thing, Sums was all you could eat, so you could keep going back. But that didn't stop me in my 20s to, like, mound meat and then crush.
Well, because that's the thing. You don't want to have to go back. You just want it in one bowl if you can.
Sure. Well,
I mean, it's
in
all
my
you
20s. I would eat the same fucking bowl like over and over.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you can cram enough food into one bowl, you don't have to go back.
Sure.
Right.
So, I am not unfamiliar
You're
with...
just knuckle tenderizing
with the
frozen meat.
The compression of meat. What started to catch me off guard was the person that wasn't necessarily ahead of us, that wasn't necessarily compressing his meat, but he... he had put so many noodles. Like,
Oh, a pile of noodles.
it was a pile of noodles.
So is he not putting anything else in there besides noodles and meat?
No. So then he got his noodles
Okay.
and a reasonable amount of meat.
Was it the small noodles or the big noodles?
It was the big soba fuckers.
Jesus.
Huge pile. Like, as he goes in with the tongs and he's pulling it towards his bowl, there's one of those, like, adult checks that's going through my mind where I'm like, well, clearly he's going to let some of those noodles go as he realizes he has to transport that thing
into
his bowl. And there was nothing. That motherfucker, yeah, behind the glass, like tilting his bowl, like, bleh. And if he'd have looked back at me, he'd have seen silver dollar eyes. Like, is that
what's happening right now?
You're really doing that? You fucking
now sizzle is all you can eat though too, right? I'm pretty sure.
God, I want to say they changed it.
Oh, it's been a while since I've been to Sizzle.
I think
love that place.
You can go back, but it is a one price. I don't think it's all you can eat anymore.
Oh.
I think it's one price for one bowl, and if you because as is typical when I was younger, you would go back. Like, if you finished your first bowl entirely, you would go back and make a second bowl, and then you'd be like, can I get a box?
Right.
Because then you get second,
right.
if it's all you can eat. I think their pricing is now, it's one bowl. So get as,
get it all in
one bowl. You're not going to get a takeout box for a second bowl. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
God, and then he gets to the veg and jalapenos. Jalapenos. And right there, if you've ever been to Mongolian place, you know that if you put spice on the grill, now the grill has to be cleaned because certainly not everyone is spice capable. I don't care. I really don't.
Right.
And there was enough people between him and Venus that I don't think there would have been a distinction, but it would have been from a business owner perspective, they had to clean the grill. So it was like, great.
Then you got to wait for him to scrape and clean.
Right. So we get up there eventually. But it was just such a shock and awe that this dude had. I mean, it was a good
meat, noodles, and
palm length high up off the rim of his bowl of fucking noodles. Like, what do you get? Dude, you're going to make a whole Adobe hut from the shit. Out of all of that, like, honestly, how big is the coil that you're going to put in the... come on, man. Really? You need that many? Come on. It's like, you can't put... Anyway.
But was it good otherwise?
It was.
Okay.
And it was the...
I'm living vicariously through you because
Venus was like...
we don't get to do it.
Why don't you have Mongolian sticks for the Blackstone? Like, because we could do this. Because there was enough of a delay, but then we're like, why don't... We can make this at home, right? And I went, well, yeah, we can. Fucking Blackstone, we can make this.
We don't have a circular grill, but we can still do it.
Because I had said, I'm like, as we got closer, I'm like, if I win the lottery, I am fucking buying one of these things. I would love to have a fucking 4-5 foot diameter circular Mongolian grill.
I don't know if it's a Mongolian grill, but if you ever watch Sam the Cooking Guy,
yes,
he has that big circular.
Yes, the Cuisinart. Cuisinart makes one, and someone else. Evo.
I think it's an Evo. I don't know what specifically that. I don't know what he's. I mean, he uses it a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you, if you're not cooking Mongolian on it. I think he does. Does he put pans on it? I forget exactly.
You can, but you would use it just like you would a Blackstone. It's a flat top griddle that just happens to be round.
Yeah.
And his is gas.
Mm.
Yes, because he's
got a nice setup out there.
He tried to give one away for Father's Day. I keep trying to win it whenever he has one.
Mm-hmm.
I looked, but I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, what are they? $800-900 bucks?
I'm like, Cuisinart makes one that's a little bit smaller, but I'm like, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do circles around the fucking thing. Unless I win the lottery, then I would buy one of those 5-foot diameter fuckers.
I wonder what the temperature on those things run. On the Mongol, they got to be pretty hot.
I would imagine probably just the same as you would get a griddle.
I'm just guessing.
500 plus?
Yeah, 600 to 700 degrees or something.
Easy.
The way the shit just.
But they were
sizzles
trying to get me. I went looking for Amazon. I'm like, how do I find the giant Mongolian barbecue chopsticks?
Yeah.
Like I can't really find.
But you couldn't really use those on a Blackstone very well, right? Because they don't. The normal like Mongolian grill doesn't have a lip around it, right? It's flat to the edge, so you would have a hard time getting sticks down into.
You would, yeah.
You'd probably just be better off using a couple of long spatulas,
Yeah.
and like kind of shuffling stuff around.
They make like what they call Mongolian swords that are almost just like, but they would have an edge. Yes.
Yeah.
A stick with an edged Blackstone would be awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could get some that are like got the Blackstone like a curl on them, and then you could get down into it. You know,
just fucking hammer.
I'm still working on trying to get
Just
my flat top grill.
Is it
Lowe's.
hashtag
Not a
vanilla
sponsor.
gift card?
God damn, dude. Those cards.
Venus has 2 that she says she's just going to use to refill her Starbucks gift card.
Yeah. Okay. So
Like, let me tell you.
did we talk about this last week?
Somewhat, but you were still trying to resolve.
I'm still trying to resolve it. So Lowe's took 190 Lowe's gift cards dollars in a botched transaction trying to order my grill. And it all happened because the fucking vanilla Visa gift cards failed or declined.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's money on them. There's money on them. I'm not trying to like cheat anybody.
Right.
So in the process of making the transaction happen, those cards declined. And when that happened, all of my Lowe's cards got emptied, and I have no order number or anything. So it's like I got money that just went. I'm donating money to Lowe's, like $190.
They appreciate your kindness.
Right. So last week, or maybe it was late last week, maybe on Thursday, I got an email that was like, hey, we've processed your Lowe's gift card refund, essentially, which means that they have credited back money onto a Lowe's gift card. Well, I had 4 Lowe's gift cards. I had 3 that were $50 and 1 that was a $40 one.
Okay.
So I got 1 of the $50 ones.
Okay.
So that leaves $140 just still hanging. So how many times am I calling Lowe's? Let me ask you that. Oh, plenty. I'm like almost every other day saying, where the fuck is my money? So in the meantime, I still have these vanilla cards that I need to figure out how to use. They don't work anywhere.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, I'll put them into Cash App. I'll put them into PayPal. I'll put them into fucking Venmo. No. You can't do it. Because when you try and add them to any of those apps, they need a zip code. And the vanilla cards don't have a zip code associated with them whatsoever. So they won't take them.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and convert them on Amazon into Lowe's gift cards.
Okay.
So I go to Lowe's, Amazon, or I go to Amazon, Lowe's gift cards. Here's the e-gift card. All right, I have a $50 and a $100 vanilla card.
Okay.
Let's do one for $50 and one for $100, and then pay and separate transactions. Here's a $50 one. I'm going to pay with this $50 card. Declined. Let's do the $100 one with the $100 card. Declined. And then they just sit in my orders, and I keep getting messages like, hey, these were declined, add another payment. Hey, these were declined, add and that happened for like 2 days until they finally canceled both of the orders. Even though I'd go in and like, yeah, I want to use this card, go, and it wouldn't do it.
Okay.
So then I call Amazon, and I'm like, what's the deal? And they're like, well, they're declining the card. I'm like, it has money on it. I don't understand.
Right.
And then I call Vanilla, and they're like, well, they're doing something wrong. So now they're both pointing at each other. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm just the guy stuck in between.
Right.
You know?
I have money here, and I'm unable to use it.
Yeah. And I'm telling the Vanilla people, like, you guys are fucking scammers. I'm literally on the phone like, you guys are fucking scammers. You sell these things to people, and they give them to people as gifts, and people can't use them. What good are they? Like, I have tried to use these cards in multiple Walmart, Target, Amazon, Lowe's, like multiple places, and they decline every single time. So finally, for my birthday on Saturday, I got another $100 Vanilla gift card. And I'm just like, so I took that card because the other two didn't work. Went into Amazon, $100 Lowe's card. It worked. I got a $100 Lowe's card. So now I'm $100 closer. If I can get my fucking money back from Lowe's, I'll be gold. So then I call the Vanilla folks and I'm like, look, man, something is wrong with these cards. Can you issue me new cards? And he like checked them out. And he said basically that once they infer that it's possible that there could be fraud on the card, they sort of like get blacklisted or something. And then they won't allow any transactions even though it says it's active on the website when you check the balance and stuff.
Right.
So he checked both those cards and says, yeah, let me send you new cards. So now I'm waiting for new cards to come from Vanilla. And then when I get them, I will buy Lowe's gift cards through Amazon like I did with the other one. And then hopefully I'll get
what the fuck?
Dude, it's just...
How would you know that they were blacklisted without...
They don't tell you. There's no way. There's no way for you to tell as a consumer when you log into their website and put all your info and say, what's this card got on it? There's no way to tell for the consumer what's happening.
How bizarre.
And it's just, it makes for a super frustrating... Like, people give these to you like, hey, man, happy birthday. Here's $50 or here's $100. And then you're just frustrated as fuck trying to use them. And so this is where we're at.
Who sells these?
Everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, anywhere you can buy gift cards. Target,
I don't
Safeway.
know if I've ever realized the name Vanilla.
They're just Visa gift cards, but they're operated by Vanilla. I don't know who Vanilla is. So now I'm waiting for cards to come for that. And then hopefully I talked to somebody really nice yesterday, was it yesterday? Who was saying, well, she understood exactly what the problem was, which she was the first person out of all the people that I've talked to there when I wasn't getting hung up on, who finally understood what was happening. She saw it. She says, I'm going to do this and this. I'm like, thank you. And so now I'm just waiting to find out if I give them the holiday today and see what happens tomorrow. And if I don't hear anything tomorrow, they're getting another call from me. So
but your replacements are on the way.
Replacement Vanilla cards. These, what I'm talking about just now was the Lowe's side of trying to get my money credited back that I have
still
nothing
short
to show for.
How much from Lowe's?
$140. So it's just been this nightmare of like fuckery,
Has your son got his griddle?
No.
What?
He has not gotten it yet. Because it's shipped freight. It's 270 something pounds, 71 or 8 or something. It's a very heavy item, so they don't ship it UPS or FedEx
Would it have
or whatever.
gotten to his house faster if he'd have paid that $80?
No. It's still going to go the same way.
All right.
But I think there's some carriers that aren't UPS and FedEx and like the USPS that report to the customer when you go and track your order. They don't give you the real-time data like UPS and FedEx and USPS. They give you the projected data. So you're like, oh, cool, it's out for delivery today. Only the thing isn't even there. Right? Because he was saying today, I think, that his grill was in Manteca, but his tracking information was telling him it was already in Roseville and on a truck and being delivered. So, like, it can't be in Manteca right now, but yet have been on a truck being delivered to his house like 3 days ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So Shanna had a similar thing. She had a thing that she had bought for Chandler's birthday that was coming, and she was tracking it, and it was late, and it was saying that it was in Sacramento, but later on found out it hadn't gotten to Sacramento yet. So it's like they're sending their tracking data based on
sometimes forecasting
the expectation and not the actual like scan. Like I don't think they scan it like UPS and FedEx do, you know, like every stop has a scan. I don't think they're doing that. They're just projecting it. So in essence, he doesn't know when it will be here.
Could be in Manteca. Could be on his way to his house.
So the good news is that after I finally get my money back from Lowe's and I get the other gift cards resolved and I actually can place the order, then I'll be in the waiting game of shipping.
Right. Could you do like a pickup at store?
No.
And just cut the middleman out here?
No, because
like order online and ask to pick it up at the store?
No, they don't offer that on this item for some reason. It's like free shipping.
Well, that, of course, would be
too easy.
Bullshit. How crazy.
I don't understand it because, like, the store, the Lowe's store here locally won't price match their own website.
Have you seen this apparatus at the store?
No. Not that I remember, but I didn't look. Apparatus.
I don't know if I've actually looked for griddles outside the one aisle inside the store that was not at Blackstone. Have you looked? So you haven't seen an actual display of this Loco cooker?
I hadn't looked for it previously. So what was intriguing to me was the sale price on it, which was about as much as a regular Blackstone.
Right.
Because the normal price on it is like $7.99.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, and I've seen some videos on it. It does a good job like a Blackstone does. So I'm like, okay. So that's kind of the appeal of it. And then I like that it can set a temperature on the
So has Chandler
dial.
seen one either? Do you know?
I don't know. Not that I know of. So I don't know. It's just been a frustrating thing, and
yeah. Hopefully, by the time you get your order pushed through, they've unfucked the shipping part.
What I'm worried about is,
or you may be finding out that you got yourself a new griddle and it's Christmas time.
Right. Oh, just in time.
Just in time. Griddle pancakes for Jesus.
I mean, I keep telling the folks at Lowe's, like, I just need to get my money back, so I still want to order the thing.
Right.
I understand sometimes shit happens, and this order went sideways, and I get that. But to, like, be hanging on to my money for no reason is just kind of bonkers. Like,
right. Sir, we're trying to buy GameStop stock with your money, and we need you to back the fuck off.
Yeah, it's just like it's beyond it's beyond like what I would expect. Like you would think they'd be like, "Oh shit, we're sorry, but apparently it has to go through some review process." And like, why did one card get? You know, I'm like, I got $50 back out of my 190.
Right.
And I sat there.
Why not?
Wait, yeah. What happened to the other 3 cards?
Right.
Like, I'm confused. So it's just been very, like, I don't like having to keep calling. Like, I don't like spending my lunchtime to call customer service. Like, most of the people that I talk to there just feels like they're just jerking me around. It's like one person will say, well, it takes 2 days. And then I call back like in 2 days. Well, no, I mean, we have to reissue you cards, and that's going to take 5 to 7 business days. And I'm like, that's not what other people are telling me. Why are you telling me something that what other people are telling me?
2 days ago.
I've been told a couple of times it's 2 days, and now you're telling me you got to reissue cards and it's going to be 5 to 7. That doesn't make any sense, you know?
Right. So is it 5 to 7? Has the 5 to 7 happened for you to get the cards?
I mean, I'm almost 2 weeks in.
Right. So
like Sunday will be 2 weeks since they
5 to 7 has passed. Where's my money?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
So, you know, sad dad for sure.
Weird time.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like, listen, the faster we get this unfucked, I'm actually going to be giving you this money.
Yeah.
I'm going
You're going to get it back.
You're going to get the money.
But I'll get something for it.
The
but
longer
you're going to get it.
Yeah, the longer we drag this on is the less time you actually get the full Monty.
What I'm worried about is like maybe they sell out by the time I finally get
right,
or some shit like that, right?
Sure. Then you get none of my money.
Yeah, then I'm fucked.
So let's try and fix this shit.
Yeah, then I'm fucked. So,
which is because then you can't make smash burgers,
I'll figure it out.
Smash tacos, smash tacos.
That sounds good. All right.
Anyway, all right. You should return a cart.
Wash your ass.
Wash your hands.
Check your oil, Tony.
Stay up to date on your shots.
Make the call if you need to.
Register to vote.
Pick up a broom.
And we'll catch you next week.
Do the kindness.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Sweeperton. Yeah. Peanut butter pretzel.